Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock
number. And we are Charnopher.
Five, four, three, two, one.
I wish that people could. I think most of our Charno fans and our listeners listen.
Yeah.
I haven't actually spoken to many people who watch us, which actually is good because then I'm not too concerned about what I'm looking like or what I'm doing. But also, I think there's part of like, I wish they could see our little countdown that we get to see. And that's why we constantly are like 3, 2, 1 when we start.
Maybe I'll make a screen recording of doing a countdown one time and then I'll just put it on our Instagram so they can see what we see.
Right? It's super fun. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Welcome back to another episode of Uncommon Sense, the 11 o'clock number.
The 11 o'clock number. Hey, I just the other day, before we get into our topic today, I think it was maybe Playbill Instagram account or one of the like Broadway Instagram accounts. And it said, did I send it to you? I sent it to you, huh? Where it was like, what is an 11 o'clock number? And I was like, dang it, we should talk about that on the podcast. I'm gonna table that because that's not our topic for the day. But I want to bring that back because that actually would be a really fun subject related to our podcast title.
Yeah, 100%, because that's how we picked it. That was what we chose it for.
Totally. Okay, but today, Christopher, here's what we're going to discuss today. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
We're going to talk about phobias or fears. Phobias or fears. So I have a great list of like the top 10
You have
overall
a list today? You
fears.
are the list lady
I did.
today.
I feel like we're switching it up. I'm hosting and I have the list.
Yes.
What is actually happening?
I
feel like we've switched. We're doing Freaky Friday. We've swapped roles. Oh man. All right.
Okay.
Well, before I do this list, do you have like a fear? Like a
real legit fear? Yeah. My biggest fear is actually probably I have severe intruder anxiety. I think we've talked about this.
Oh. Yeah.
So there are nights when, and also my house makes noises, like random settling noises. And I'm like, what's happening? Is someone in the house? What's coming for me? And then I'm like, what is my defense plan? Like, do I hop out of bed? Do I grab my water bottle? Like, what's happening?
Wow.
And yeah. And there will be nights where I literally just can't sleep well. Like I just don't, like I wake up numerous times in the night because of it. But
because your brain is thinking about that. Is that something like that has been your whole life? Like when you were a kid? Was that
so not so much when I was a kid. My brother had it more when we were a kid. But it's gotten worse since we moved into our house and having kids.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's funny is that has never, I mean, I think it's a concern of everyone, sure. But again, like a fear. Ruby, I think a lot of kids have those fears.
Yeah.
She constantly is like, is someone going to come through my window? But she also gets worried about fires. And I don't know if just like, because we've had to evacuate a couple times or we've talked about fire, like every night before bed, is there going to be fire? Is there going to be a fire? Like she has that, that phobia, that fear where I have to be like, there's not going to be a fire. You're good. You know, we're right down the hall. It's just a constant in her brain.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. As a kid, I don't remember any like fears. As an adult, one of my biggest fears is choking, and not necessarily me choking, but my kids choking or a kid choking, something about choking. And I don't know if it's the immediacy of the effects of choking. Like, it's not like, oh, you broke your arm. You're going to like, you're choking. You have like very minimal time.
Seconds.
And yeah. And I remember it really started to get worse when I had kids, and they would be in the back seat backward, and they'd be like, I'm like, are you dying? I can't like, I really didn't like that. And even now, like when they're older now, but I remember grapes was a huge one. I would cut their grapes in half, and I would be like, you better chew that grape 752 times before you swallow it. I really like, choking is a thing for me. I don't know why. That and falling downstairs. Again, I think like when a kid trips or a kid falls, but stairs, like if you miss a stair or you like, it can be so much more dangerous. And those are the two things that I'm kind of a weirdo about, that like, I think it's like the fear of that is a little escalated more than other fears. Like I don't like spiders. I really don't like them, but I don't have a fear of them. I'm not really afraid of them. I just don't want them on me. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Goodbye. So with the choking thing, we have, like, I'm a little bit, but I'm not at all, like, it doesn't constantly, I don't think about it a lot. And except for Amelia stresses me out sometimes, because that child, first of all, she'll just like take a bite of food and then start running around. I'm like, no. Try again.
Yep.
I need you to chew your food, even if it's not something that's like a normal choking thing. And we also have started freezing grapes. So they're like sweet treats, but they're obviously then hard.
Yeah.
So if we're eating those, I'm like, you will sit there and you will not move until that grape is fully consumed in your little belly.
Yeah. And I think too, like I look back, there were 2 instances when I was younger. I choked myself on like a sliced peach at a friend's birthday party. I think it was like in middle school. So like I had bit the sliced peach, like a canned peach, you know?
Yeah.
I bit it and it like that piece of it got stuck. Like, and I remember having that feeling where you like see it in the movies where I'm like, my face has got to be turning blue. Yeah. And I finally like coughed it out, that one. And then my sister, Kelly, I should have had her tell this story when she was on here, but do you know the candies Mambas?
No.
The Mambas candy? Do you know what those are? So they're kind of like a cross between, they're like a Starburst. They're like Starburst.
Okay.
But they're a little softer. And they come in these long packs. And within that
kind of
pack,
like Starburst,
there's like 4 different packs of different flavors. Yeah. And I'll never forget one day I came into our bathroom. Kelly and I shared this bathroom when we were younger. She had taken all the Mambas and crunched them all in her mouth like a giant Mamba ball. And she was like she couldn't, the whole thing of Mambas. Like and I remember being like, she's going to die. Yeah. And we finally like got it out. And I remember being like, why did you put all of those in your mouth? And I just remember being like, I don't know. They tasted so good. I'm like, wait, like eat one at a time. Like I remember being really mad. And I think those 2 instances like scarred me for life with the choking. Yeah. Okay. I want to get straight to it with my list. Are you ready?
I know, but I want to talk about stairs.
Are you not ready?
Because
sorry. Yes, Christopher, I'm sorry.
Because we are not, especially with Grayson, we were not a child-proofing household. We just didn't need to. We wanted to just train our kids to just be responsible, even from like baby stage, as much as possible. And obviously, you keep an eye on them. But after Amelia was born and started moving, I was like, oh, this child is going to be special. And she's going to try to do all the things and fall down the stairs. But we also managed to train her. There was about 2 weeks in there where we were really debating blocking off the stairs and putting on a baby gate. We really didn't want to for various reasons, but we did get there with Amelia. She was all good, holds onto the rail. We're all good. And we don't let them play by the stairs in front of this, like at the top of the stairs. We don't let them run down the stairs. Yeah, and our kids don't either.
We have stairs in our house. And we did kind of the same thing where it was just like, nope, you don't go up there. We eventually put a gate at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
Because that was the one for me that I was like, when they start toddling, even if they don't want to, if they take one wrong step. So we have a gate at the top of the stairs, which is funny. We still have it there. Like my kids are 8.5 and almost 12 and we still have it now. We just haven't taken it down. But I have a stair story too, which I forgot about. Sebastian, he didn't fall down the stairs, but he used to like not slide like on his butt down the railing, but he would lean his like stomach on it and kind of like not slide, but like kind of go like down it a little bit. It never concerned me ever until one time. And I'll never forget, Jerry's mom was standing in the kitchen, which then you can look at the stairs.
Yeah.
And he leaned just a little too far forward and he fell over the stairs. Like he fell over the railing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he is very lucky that he did not get hurt because our couch is right there. But also, I mean, he hit just right and he didn't land on the couch. He like hit the couch and fell behind it.
Okay.
But I was like, buddy, that could have been your back. That could have been your leg. That could have been, it terrified him. Like, I just remember seeing my mother-in-law's face like, ooh, and he's like, fell over. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, he learned quickly. I was like, stairs are not, we don't play.
Grayson used to go down the stairs. Like, I have videos. He would lay on his stomach and feet first and just go down the stairs. That's how he got down.
Yep.
He could get down faster than a person could run down them. I was like, that's smart. That's smart.
Hey, and that, I mean, yeah, because you're on your tummy and you're not going to like trip or fall or whatever. And a big thing, like your stairs are carpeted, right?
They are.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like stairs that aren't carpeted, I even at friends' houses when kids are running around in socks, I'm like, please just go slow on the stair. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. All right, I'm going to go down this list real quick.
I'm ready.
It says, this is the top 10 most common fears. I'm assuming they're in order.
Okay.
The first one is acrophobia. Do you know what that is?
Acrophobia? Like fear of acrobatics?
Acrobats scare me. No, it's a fear of heights.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My brother-in-law
I figured that'd be in the top 3.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I love roller coasters. I've never been scared of that kind of stuff. As I get older, it's not a fear, but my body starts to react more to it. Have you found that? Like when you get older?
A little bit. Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid of heights. Like I'm not afraid of heights, but I remember being like, oh wow, I feel a little bit different being up here than I used to. It's interesting.
Yes.
So yeah, fear of heights, acrophobia. Okay. The second one, and this says this is between 10% and 40% of US adults feel this.
Okay.
Is aerophobia, the fear of flying.
Oh. Here's the thing about that. I don't think people have a fear of flying. I have a feeling people have a fear of crashing. Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. Jerry does not like flying. And I remember the first time we went on an airplane, I have zero, I don't get scared. I don't know. I think it's like, if it's my time to be in a plane crash, it's my time to be in a plane crash. Like, I can't, it's the same with a car. And I always that's the thing.
You know how much more likely you are to get in a car accident than to be in a plane wreck? But I think it's something about not having control with the plane. Because
you have control over a car? Like if someone sideswipes you and crashes into you. Well, yeah, but like you can't control the thing that's going to break you.
I don't know.
I think you're 100% correct, P.S., but...
Yeah. And I think most people, like with car accidents, usually, I don't know. I've never been in a really major car accident, knock on wood, but it's an accident. It's not, it's like no one's running into you on purpose. But I think there's this idea of like, I'm getting into this giant thing that's in the air that I have no control over. I think it's more the fear of the crash for sure. But Jerry does not. Jerry does not like flying. And I have a couple, like I could get on a plane and fall asleep in 3 minutes. I'm like, I'm good. I don't get nervous at all. I have some people who have to take medication who they can't relax on a plane. I guess your body just reacts that way. So aerophobia, that's what that's called. Do you get scared on planes?
No. Not really. There are moments like if we hit a lot of turbulence or something, I'm like, I don't know about this, but overall, no, it doesn't bother me. Because I'm a little bit similar in like, if this is how I die, then that was God's plan. And this is what we're going with. Because the odds of me dying from a freak accident on an airplane are, like I said, 5,000 times less than practically walking across the street and getting hit by a bus. So...
yeah. And it's so interesting to like have that conversation with somebody who really is afraid of flying. And it's just, they can't get past that idea in their head. Okay. Number 3 is like a normal arachnophobia.
Yeah.
The fear of spiders.
Now, Joy definitely has a fear of spiders. She is an arachnophobe. But I think it's gotten less over the years. And the reason I say it's just an actual phobia versus I just don't like spiders is because she has such a visceral reaction. Even though she's gotten better, there's still just such an immediate reaction to the spider. Like she'll be taking a shower and I'll be downstairs. So she'll be taking a shower in our room, way upstairs behind a closed door. I all of a sudden hear a screech and I'm like, oh, there must be a spider. There must be a spider. So off I go to the shower to see what's happening just to make sure it was a spider.
Oh, man. I think I don't like spiders.
Yeah.
I have always thought logically, like, it's so small. Like, why am I so afraid of something, or why do I dislike something that's so small? And I think it's because they move so dang fast. Like if it was like a little friendly spider that was like,
sloth spider.
Yeah. I don't want to play with the guy that's like, I don't need you near me. I don't need you in my life. And also I had a spider jump on me once when I was little and that changed everything I thought about spiders. I was trying to save him off the wall of my bedroom when I was little and take him outside and he jumped on me. And I said, you have ruined your chance of me ever enjoying you now because that was rude. You jumped on me. I also had a spider fly out of an air vent in a car at me one time. Absolutely not. It's like I attract them. Have I never told you the story how my friend didn't Christopher's cracking up. This is the episode people should watch. Christopher is dying. He's dying. He's dying over here. He can't even get it together. Okay, I'm going to tell my story. So an air vent, he came flying out at me. That guy, really pissed at him. But the one that actually stands out in my mind the most, I had a really good girlfriend right out of college. And her house was like right off of a riverbed. And I would stay over there a lot. We'd hang out. And they had these crazy white spiders, like clear white spiders that were just weird and gross. And one time we went to the Brea Mall and we parked in the underground parking and we went to the mall and we did our thing. We came back out. We were getting ready to leave. And you know how like in underground parking, you kind of like come out and there's a little bit of a hill, not a hill, but like, you're kind of coming out of the underground parking. All of a sudden, she's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. All of a sudden, she just starts, she's like screaming. She jumps out of the car. She's driving. She's the driver. She jumps out of the car screaming, "It's a spider." I'm like, she didn't even put the car in park. And fortunately, the car was on a hill enough that it like couldn't go anymore. But I'm like, Ashley, you have to put the car in park. So she like gets in there, she like puts it in park and it's running and the doors are out and we're running. We're like, like when you think you have something on you and we're like, we're in the parking structure like fools. We're like, ah, ah. And we're like screaming. I'm like, it's on me. Is it on you? Is it on me? And there's a car.
Oh gosh.
With 2 doors open, just idling. And some guy pulls up behind us and he's like, is everything good? And we're like, no, there's a spider in the car. And he's like, okay, you guys have to get back in the car. Move the car. And we couldn't find it. So then that's the other thing. Like when you know there's a spider, that's a big thing for me. When Jerry kills a spider, I want to see it. I want to see it dead. I want to see it dead. I don't want you to be like, yeah, I killed it. He went away somewhere.
You need to see the dead body.
Oh, man.
I am sometimes the worst spider killer. Joy makes so much fun of me. She's like, how can you not? She has to kill some of them because I'm terrible at it. I'll like miss.
How do you kill them?
I'll whack it
with a shoe.
And yeah, usually. Or I'll somehow I'll just mess it up and I'll end up like knocking them off and then we have to find it and like it's a whole thing.
Yes.
But,
yes. And you want to make sure you know where it is. Now, here's the thing. Spiders outside. Like, if you've built your web and you're catching bugs and you're out of my way, carry on with your life. Carry on with your life, Charlotte, because I am all about that. I don't need you in my house and I don't need you on my ceiling where you're going to fall on my head while I'm sleeping.
Right.
I just need you to stay in your own lane.
Right.
Get out of my house.
Stay in your own lane. Also, I love that we had Wilbur in the last episode and Charlotte in this one. It's a whole kind of...
It's a theme. It's a theme.
Also, Joy, oddly enough, doesn't mind spiders outside either. And she actually likes widows better than regular spiders. And we talked about this because I'm like, how do you like those better when they're the ones that can actually hurt you?
Because those ones can really hurt you. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically die. But it's because she's like, the widows, both black and brown, we have more brown widows around here, tend to be... Well, it's in their name, brown recluse, but we don't have the recluse version. We have the widow version. But anyway, the point is they tend to stay away. They don't want to be around you. They're like, I'm going to go in my tiny little corner and eat my bugs and you leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. But then there's those brazen ones that are running all over our ceiling.
In a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys I hate, dude. I just just stay, go eat your bugs.
House.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't need you.
All right, carry on.
Oh, man. Okay, I got to move on to the next one. I have so many spider stories. I could go on for days. I had a spider in my water bottle once. I've told you that story, right?
Yes.
When I drank it?
Yes.
God bless me on my journey. Okay, the next one. This one's an interesting one. Ophidiophobia. Do you know what that is? Ophidiophobia? It's a funny name for it. It's the fear of snakes.
This would be more me. I do not care for snakes. I don't have a real phobia of it. I just don't care for them. I don't care for them to be on me. Grayson loves holding a snake. I'm like, thank you, goodbye. And I know you have a pet snake.
I should have, yes, and I should have prepared more for this because I could have had Sloan in this episode.
Yes, you could
I might need to do like a bonus episode where we meet Sloan.
Yeah.
I mean, she can't talk. She's a snake, and she's not my snake, just so everybody understands. She is Sebastian's snake. But I will say, I have never been a fan of snakes.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, it's a snake. Just like, cool, it's a this. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. But having a snake in the house and seeing like how incredibly harmless the snake is, I don't know. I have the best snake story from when I was younger, which I am going to tell. My mom will appreciate it. I'll be quick. I'm never quick. But
I was like, no, you won't.
I think seeing that like Sebastian holds it and she's chill and she got like, I'm not afraid. Do I love snakes? No, but I'm not afraid. But I think people are more afraid of snakes than spiders. I don't know. I see people freak out with snakes. Like when we were hiking a couple months ago, Shannon and Kristen and I, a snake was in the middle of the trail and Kristen she physically could not move closer. Like Shannon and I were like, we're just going to walk around. She's like, nope.
No.
I have to wait until he got, nope. Like she couldn't. It's like a physical thing. So, okay, I have to tell this snake story because it is for the books. Before my parents got divorced, I was probably, I don't know, I had to be probably 3rd or 4th grade. And we had left for the day, me and my mom, and we had some family friends with us, younger kids. And we came back, and at our old house, that house, you'd walk in the front door and looking straight ahead, like left would be the kitchen. Like you'd walk forward and there was a hallway. Down the left would be the kitchen. Down the right, Christopher's already like, oh no. Down the right would be the bedrooms. Okay. So my mom, we walk in and she's like, who left their belt in the middle of the hallway? And we're like, what? Nobody left a belt in the middle of the hallway. And she walks closer and she's like, it's a snake. And she screams, it's a snake.
Yeah.
So this is in the era of no cell phones and your phone is in the kitchen, like hanging on the wall. And she's like, I have to call your dad. I have to call your dad. So our family friend, neighbor kid that's with us, he's like, oh, it looks blind. Like it was like, he like got up, he wanted to like look at it. My mom somehow gets the phone and she comes running out. She calls my dad at work and he's like, I mean, I don't know what to do. I'll hurry home to help you. But whatever you do, don't let it get into the kitchen because it will get under the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And so my mom's like, okay, but what am I going to do? So where does the snake start to go? Right into the kitchen.
Yep.
My mom grabs a butcher knife and chops its head off.
That's my hero.
My mom. And you know, it's like one of those like reptile things where it was like still kind of moving. It was like so horrible, so like tragic. Then I remember we took it out and the little boy of the neighborhood boy that was there, he like threw it down the gutter. Like we got rid of it or whatever. I don't even remember being like afraid, but obviously it was coming back from the bedrooms. Like it had been coming, like it was coming from the bedrooms.
No.
Crazy. So years later, we move and we pull out the refrigerator and there's snake skins under the refrigerator. No. It had been living under the refrigerator.
I gotta go.
I will never forget. Now, where we lived was, our backyard was huge. We lived on like 3/4 of an acre and we had this big giant hill in the back and there were snakes out there. Like one of the times like a gardener guy got bit by a snake out there. Like there were snakes, but somehow like it must have slithered in and it was living under our refrigerator, Christopher.
Nope.
And I'm not afraid of snakes.
Here's the thing about that story. I remember you telling me this very early on in our friendship and I literally put it out of my brain because I didn't, as you were telling the story, it started to come back to me and I was like, So, yeah.
And isn't that interesting that happened to me and I don't have a crazy fear? I mean, I don't know. I actually think the story is quite funny and heroic. God bless my mom on her snake killing journey.
And my grandmother had a snake phobia because we living out on the farm and everything, like we had snakes and like especially like rattlesnakes, and I don't like a poisonous snake especially. I'm like, no thank you.
Yeah.
And there was one coming at her and she heard the little rattle and she had a shovel luckily and just like whacked its head off. Just boom.
Yep.
Because that's all you can do.
You got to. Hey, and I didn't even tell you. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't tell you, but we were just at Cynthia Kareem's house a couple weeks ago for our party. And for the taco party, and you brought the kids and it was so fun. So
it was so
the previous year there was a baby rattlesnake.
Okay, so nothing happened then.
No. The previous year there was a baby rattlesnake in that little herb garden. And Ruby was like, hey, there's like a lizard. And Sebastian was like, that's a rattlesnake. And Cynthia Kareem's son and Jerry and one other guy, they went and got a shovel and they killed it in the garden. It was just there. It was just like, hey, friends, like obviously had gone out of his natural habitat and lost his way. But yeah, the venomous snakes, I don't need them. I do. That's a fear, a venomous snake.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, thank you.
We're moving on from snakes. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
The next one's interesting. It's called cynophobia and it's the fear of dogs.
Oh, I don't like that one.
Yeah. And I have a lot of people I've seen who are afraid of dogs. My friend Melissa was bit by a dog when she was much younger on her face, and she has grown so much. I remember being younger with her. She's terrified. And even when I had my old pug and our boxer, she like we'd have to make sure they weren't in the room. She's so much better now, but she just doesn't want them in her space. But I get it. If you were bit by a dog, I could see that
at a young
being,
age.
Yeah. And I also think dogs sense your energy.
Yeah.
You know what 100%. I mean? So it's that, like, they know if you're afraid or they know that if you're sad or if you're, like, dogs have that sense. I'm not afraid of dogs, but except we have two Great Danes who live across the street from us. They're the nicest.
Love Great Danes.
But even Jerry's like, when those things come running up to you, it takes a minute to be like, whoa. it's like a horse in my face.
It is. They are like horse size, man.
Okay, next one, number 6. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. Trypanophobia. Trypanophobia.
I think it's trypanophobia. I don't remember what it is.
Trypanophobia is the fear of injections.
Yeah.
And it says 20 to 30% of adults are affected by this phobia. Now, I don't like them, but I'm not afraid of them.
No, same.
But there are some people who will pass out. Like, I remember when you're pregnant, remember the last time you were pregnant, Christopher?
Yeah, totally.
When you have to give blood so much, you have to have so many different things done and all those tests. And I remember one time the lady at the blood place was like, I love having, oh my gosh, not funny.
Sorry.
My biggest fear.
Sorry.
We've had 30 plus episodes and you have not choked and you choose this one to choke. Please tell me you're okay. Give me a thumbs up right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. He's fine. He just needs to get it out. He just went down. He went down the wrong. Now he's laughing.
Went down the wrong way. We're okay.
Okay. Which is also horrible when someone's like, are you okay? And you're like, I can't talk because
I like the thumbs up thing. I
aspirated my water.
generally do a thumbs up on the like right away going,
just
I'm
give me
good.
a thumbs up. Yeah. I just need to cough it out.
Yeah.
But the lady at the clinic was always be like, I love getting the pregnant women in here. She's like, the ones who are the worst are the big, like burly athletic guys that come in and they have to have some sort of physical. She's like, they always pass out.
Yeah. So funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It is a fear. That's a total normal one. The next one is astrophobia, the fear of thunder and lightning. I love thunder and lightning.
I do too. But I do know that it can be scary. Like, we in California don't have what I would call real storms. Like, not like the
Remember
planes.
that one time we had a hurricane?
Yeah. The hurricane that didn't really do anything to us. Now, it did hit people. Yeah. It did hit some people.
Yeah, it did.
But not to minimize. But yes, it was pretty funny when they're like, a hurricane's coming in and us in Mission Viejo were like, there's some rain. Hello, rain.
There was a breeze.
Yeah, we don't really have storms like they do, like that produce supercells and tornadoes and everything like that. So I can understand. Like, I kind of have a fear of tornadoes. I'm fascinated by them, but I do have a fear of them.
Yeah,
but not thunder and lightning.
I spoke with a family who just moved back from Texas. They lived here. They moved to Texas for a couple of years and came back. And she said the tornado warnings like got to her. Yeah. Like she felt like it was every other week. It would be like, there's a tornado coming. And I think why tornadoes would freak me out. They're very interesting to me. And I remember being obsessed with that movie Twister when I was younger and watching it over and over again. Me too. I kind of want to watch it again.
Me too.
I think it's the Twisters are so erratic, right? Like there's no way to, you have no control if that Twister is coming to your house, the next house, the plate, you know what I mean? I get the fear of that. Thunder and lightning, not so much for me, but maybe that is indicative of where we've grown up, you know? I used to, in The Sound of Music, in that scene when they would all come running in her room because of the thunder and the lightning, I remember being like, why is that scary? Like,
I agree. I agree.
It's not that scary, but I guess maybe it is how we were raised. Okay. Agoraphobia is number 8.
Fear of going outside. That one I know.
It says, no, agoraphobia is the fear of being alone in a situation or place where escape might be difficult. Agoraphobia may include the fear of open spaces, crowded areas, or situations that are likely to trigger a panic attack. Some people avoid leaving their homes to stay away from these triggering events.
So I was sort of right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's the one of fear of open spaces? I've always tripped out on that one. Have you heard of that one? Where people are they don't like if you're driving out to Utah or you're driving out to the desert and it's just open. There are people who that freaks them out.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And the last two more. Number 9 is misophobia. Misophobia. Fear of germs and dirt.
That would be hard to live with, actually.
Yeah. Right. And I think I've had some students who have a little bit of that. And then social phobia is what it's called, which is so boring. It doesn't have a fancy name, but, fear of social situations or being in a social situation. Yeah. I can't believe that, claustrophobia is not on here.
Yeah.
in the top 10. I feel like that would have made it. Are you claustrophobic at all?
I never thought I was, but I have had a few moments in my life where I'm like, no, I probably am, but just not terribly.
Yeah. So I felt the same way. And when I really realized it was when I had an MRI.
Yep. That was the same thing for my mom.
Have you ever had an MRI?
Nope.
Oh, I would say not claustrophobic at all. You can have 900 people in this elevator. I don't mind being in this little thing.
Yeah.
I had to really relax my brain in that thing. And I know the weirdest thing is there is a person right outside.
Yeah.
You can click that little button if you need to come out. And I actually kept telling myself that. It would take 5 seconds for you to get out of here. It would take 5 seconds for you to get out of here. But there is a weird feeling of being trapped and not being able to move your body.
Well, I'm surprised that Buried Alive isn't on that list for the same type of reason.
Actually, that's a fear of mine. I don't like that.
Yeah.
What was that Fear Factor show where they would bury them?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because I think of it, I used to think that's stupid. Who would be afraid of that? That just happens in scary movies. But then as I got older, I'm like, no, there's real life situations where that could happen. Like, let's say in a building collapse or an earthquake or something like that. Like that. And then I was like, oh, maybe I do have a fear of that.
Right. Like as you're sitting there yeah, I don't know. It's but I think it's one of those, that's not a normal thing to happen just randomly.
Yeah.
The ones that trip me out are the really obscure fears. I had a friend in high school who was terrified, not a phobia of cotton balls. She could not see a cotton ball. She could not, it was something about the texture of it.
So no Peter Cottontail for her.
No way. No way, man. Also, we had a student who was afraid of fruit. When we traveled a few summers ago, they could not have fruit on their plate. They could not something. Yeah. I find it fascinating, to be honest.
Yeah.
What is it about that? Why are you so scared?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
There's got to be a story there.
Right? Oh my gosh. I feel like, I love that we did the top 10, but I feel like we could have done a whole hour episode just telling stories about some of these things, but we got the good stories out there. We got the good stories out there.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, Christopher, you want to sign us off on that note? No
Here
more
we
choking,
go.
okay?
I know. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Check out uncommonpod.com. And on that note, Charnopher out.
Oh my gosh, the fact that you choked.
Oh, I know.
In this episode, though. I mean, we couldn't have planned that better.
Could not have planned it if we tried.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.